Prime Minister Modi there at the Karni Temple in Bikaner, there taking blessings. This is the Prime Minister's first visit since Operation Sindoor, and there you can see at the Karni Mata Temple, Prime Minister Modi there seeking blessings of Ma Karni. Prime Minister Modi there visiting the border district. Do remember, after the Adampur air base, now the Prime Minister is in Bikaner, and of course this is a very significant visit of Prime Minister Modi, who's in Bikaner for 3.5 hours, as you can see visuals on your screen of the Prime Minister there seeking blessings at the Karni Mata Temple. But also the Prime Minister, this really marks the occasion of 1 year since the deadly attacks that took place in Pahalgam, in which 26 innocent lives were lost. And here you can see Prime Minister Modi there, we are expecting the Prime Minister to again give out a message of solidarity, and of course this also comes at a time when multi-party delegations are spreading that message of Prime Minister Modi, that message that Prime Minister Modi has given out loud and clear, that there's zero tolerance when it comes to terrorism and to expose the nexus of Pakistan. So that is, a message that Prime Minister Modi has been repeatedly giving. And of course, there you can see visuals on your screen of the Prime Minister visiting the Karni Mata Temple in Rajasthan. The Prime Minister is going to be inaugurating and launching projects worth 26,000 crore rupees. He will be inaugurating the 103 Amrit stations nationwide, including the newly developed Deshnoke railway station under the Amrit Bharat Yojana. He's also be expecting to address a huge rally, a public rally that's going to be taking place. He is in Bikaner for precisely 3 hours 25 minutes. This is a very important visit that the Prime Minister, as you can see over there, seeking the blessings of Karni Mata at the temple. From what we are hearing is that the Prime Minister is expected not just to hold that huge public rally, but also after this visit he will be inaugurating the railway station. This is the Deshnoke railway station that will be flagging off the Bikaner-Mumbai express train. There you can see the Prime Minister there in the presence of the Chief Minister of the state. He, of course, is, there are multiple projects that are going to be inaugurated by the Prime Minister. We're talking about projects worth 26,000 crore rupees. They include 1,000 kilometers of electrified railway tracks, 7 major road projects, 3 vehicular underpasses, a power grid transmission project, and 900 kilometers of national highways that are going to be inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi over the next 3 hours of his visit in Bikaner. Now, after the public meeting, he will be returning to the airport by the helicopter, and that's going to be taking place later this afternoon. And at about 1:15 is when the Prime Minister is going to be taking off and coming back to the national capital. Do remember that he's just landed, so it's a very, very short but a very significant visit of the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister in Bikaner, and there you can see visuals of the Prime Minister there seeking blessings. Talking about the air base in Bikaner, and that is, a visit of the Prime Minister, in this border area. Do remember, Rajasthan shares the longest border with Pakistan. This marks his first visit to the state since Operation Sindoor, and that really comes exactly 1 month after the terrorist attack in Kashmir's Pahalgam. He did visit the Adampur air base in Punjab just less than 10 days ago, where he interacted with the Air Force personnel. The strategic visit directly refuted Pakistan's false claims that its missiles had severely damaged the base and its S-400 air defense, as pictures were shared from Prime Minister Modi's visit that showed that S-400 system and MiG-29 jets in the background. So today also we're expecting a very strong message to be put out, not just for the nation but also for the world, particularly for Pakistan. That is something that we're expecting. Let's talk about the air base that's strategically significant when it comes to the Indian Air Force, that's located in Bikaner. This is situated in the western sector of India. Its position makes it crucial for operations along the western border. The base plays a very vital role in India's air defense strategy, providing a forward operating location for various fighter aircrafts and serving as a key point for surveillance during, this is something that, now that we do have the new normal when it comes to India, and how we have been on high alert, particularly in the border areas. This air base is home to several squadrons of the Indian Air Force, including frontline fighter jets like the Su-30, are known for their long-range capabilities, the multi-role functions. The presence of such advanced aircraft underscores the base's importance in projecting the air power and maintaining aerial superiority as well. Beyond its operational role, the airbase also serves as a training ground for pilots, technical personnel, contributing to the overall readiness and modernization of the Indian Air Force. So this airbase that Prime Minister Modi is going to be visiting is very, very significant. And of course, this is the first visit of the Prime Minister since Operation Sindoor, and sending out quite a message when it comes to the Indian Air Force. Basically, the forces, as far as our armed forces are concerned, the Prime Minister there after the Adampur Air Base, at the airbase in Bikaner, a very, very significant visit of the Prime Minister, who's seeking blessings at the temple first. So a temple run first. It's a very short visit, like I just mentioned, all of 3 hours, 25 minutes to be precise. He landed just a little before 11 o'clock. He's there at the temple. He will be launching multiple projects. We're talking about 26,000 crore rupees worth of projects that will be dedicated, inaugurated, and the Prime Minister will be laying down the foundation stone for those various infrastructure and development projects. He will, of course, be inaugurating the 103 redeveloped Amrit stations, including the Deshnoke station under the Amrit Bharat station scheme in 86 districts across 18 states and union territories, developed at the cost of 1,100 crore. So the Prime Minister there at that temple, following India's strong message that the Prime Minister has been putting out. Harsha Kumari joining us to get us the very latest. Harsha, the timing of the Prime Minister's visit, as today marks 1 month since the attack in Pahalgam, can we expect the Prime Minister to once again send out that very strong message to the global community, particularly to Pakistan?
Is one of the border towns of Rajasthan. Remember, Rajasthan shares 1,000+ kilometer border with Pakistan, and what better stage than Bikaner on the border, on the western front, to give a strong message about the paradigm shift in India's military doctrine. And as you see, my cameraman will just show you a little bit. You can see the stage set, and people have gathered in very, very large numbers. All of them in their orange safas behind me. A lot of people from the forge, also ex-retired people all wearing kesaria turbans, and quite a big crowd that has gathered here. So everyone ready to welcome the PM. Quite a lot of excitement. Let me just ask this gentleman who's right near me. प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ पर आ रहे हैं, आपको लगता है कि क्या संदेश देंगे ऑपरेशन सिंदूर के बाद? क्या संदेश आपको लगता है पीएम देंगे? तैयारी के साथ मैं मोदी जी को देश की जनता को सैल्यूट करता हूँ जी। So as you can hear, strong sentiments here, and people are quite excited. Some more people want to join in, of course. They're quite enthusiastic to speak. But back to you in the studio.
Right, Harsha, we're talking about, road projects, we're talking about power projects, we're talking about multiple projects, as far as new railway lines are concerned. Also the Mumbai Express train that will connect Bikaner to Mumbai. We're talking about multiple projects to the tune of 26,000 crore rupees. So take us through the significance of this visit. It's a very short but a very significant visit of the Prime Minister. It really comes on the heels of the Prime Minister visiting the Adampur Air Base. So take us through, what all is on the agenda, and talk us through these multiple projects that the Prime Minister is going to be launching today. Harsha joining us from Bikaner. Harsha, you were talking about how, Rajasthan shares the longest border with Pakistan, and talk about the kind of projects that the Prime Minister is going to be launching, and the significance of this visit coming on the heels of his visit to the Adampur Air Base less than 10 days ago. So the Prime Minister, of course, we will have Harsha back with us. We seem to be having some problem with that line, but we are talking about multiple, projects that are going to be launched by the Prime Minister in the state of Rajasthan, in Bikaner. There you can see the Prime Minister there. He will be holding that rally very close to the border with Pakistan. We have my colleague Aishwarya joining us. Aishwarya, it's been a month since the Pahalgam terror attack, and today really marks that very particular day. So it's a very significant visit, a very short but a very significant visit of the Prime Minister. Can we expect him to be sending out a very strong message, similarly on the lines of what he did while he was at the airbase in Udhampur?
Well, certainly, 1 month has passed since the Pahalgam terror attack, and it is, of course, Prime Minister just near the India-Pakistan border, and the Indian government had given a stern warning to Pakistan in the past as well, that no terrorism would be tolerated on the Indian soil. Prime Minister Narendra Modi is there in Bikaner. He would be, of course, inaugurating several infrastructure projects, and also the Amrit railway stations 103, of course, but it is also an indication of Prime Minister going to meet several officers out there on the India-Pakistan border and giving out a message that whatever has happened, India has retaliated to it. India has attacked the terror camps in Pakistan, and diplomatic actions had been taken. But to boost the morale of the soldiers, remember, Prime Minister also visited Udhampur Air Base in the past, and Defence Minister to senior union ministers also went on to meet the Indian armed officials and those soldiers who had fought for India during Operation Sindoor. And when certain message comes directly from the Prime Minister, it always gives huge motivation to these armed forces, and similar kind of messaging we can expect from Prime Minister today as well. As 1 month has passed, and India already had stated that if there is any terror activity on the Indian soil, then that will be considered as an act of war. And Prime Minister's, Prime Minister could again reiterate that about India's position on terrorism, how a multi-party delegation is now being sent to different global capitals to send across a message of zero tolerance against terrorism. And when Prime Minister would be just near the India-Pakistan border, a message can come up from directly from him that will certainly going to communicate it to the entire country, and also that could be sent across the borders as well.
Right, of course, putting out that very strong and very loud and clear message of India's zero tolerance towards terrorism, and also to expose the nexus when it comes to Pakistan. And that is what the Prime Minister is doing on one side, sending that all-party delegation abroad in order to set the record straight, to tell the world as to what really happened, and also to debunk stories that have come up in the process. Of course, the Prime Minister sending out that message that India does not bow down to terrorism or to terrorists, and those who shelter will have to pay the price. So while also take us through that, on one side we are looking for the terrorists behind the Pahalgam attack, we are also cracking down. There have been multiple encounters in Jammu and Kashmir that have been taking place. We found a lot of Pakistani spies within the country. So a major crackdown as the country remains on high alert, particularly in the border areas. Aishwarya, take us through the messaging that the Prime Minister is putting out by visiting these border areas ever since Operation Sindoor.
Well, and the message has come from the top leadership of the country that Indian armed forces should remain alert as far as the line of control and the international border is concerned. And we have seen that how there was complete stoppage of the firing along with the line of control and the international border since the bilateral understanding between India and Pakistan arrived. It is, of course, encounters, neutralizing of the terrorists in some of the areas in Jammu and Kashmir that we have seen. But more or less after the India-Pakistan DGMO level talks, it was a complete stoppage of firing. But looking at the history of Pakistan, it is the armed forces who had been told to be on alert, and that's how when our reportage from the LOC or from the forward areas, it is these soldiers who are completely on alert and showed that how India had developed those technologies which can, stop
Mumbai
any
Express
sort
train.
of incoming enemy,
Right. Aishwarya, visuals
Yes.
on our screen of Prime Minister Modi there flagging off that train, the Bikaner Mumbai train that will be connecting Bikaner to Mumbai. There you can see the Prime Minister there inaugurating the Deshnoke railway station, accompanied by, of course, the Railway Minister and, of course, also the Chief Minister of the state of Rajasthan. Right after that temple visit there, we have the newly inaugurated train. This is a train that will be connecting people from Bikaner to Mumbai. The Prime Minister's very short, very significant visit coming on the day that marks 1 month since the attack that took place in Pahalgam that claimed 26 lives. The Prime Minister sending out a very strong message to the global community, particularly in regard to India's zero tolerance towards terrorism. Do remember he started his visit with a visit to the Karni Mata Temple. And now from there, of course, now he has inaugurated, flagged off that express train as well. And also now the Prime Minister is going to be inaugurating 103 Amrit stations nationwide, laying down the foundation stone for various development projects. These include 1,000 kilometers of electrified railway tracks, 7 major road projects, 3 vehicle underpasses, a power grid transmission project and a 900-kilometer of national highways when it comes to the state of Rajasthan. So all this at the cost of 26,000 crore rupees that the Prime Minister is going to be spending for the development of the border state of Rajasthan. Aishwarya, take us through, the role as far as the border forces are concerned, and the Prime Minister making sure to, thank them for the sacrifices, for their contribution in and during Operation Sindoor.
Well, remember that message from the Prime Minister's office that had given free hand to the Indian Armed Forces whenever required to choose the time, place and track them, to punish them. It is Prime Minister who stated that he believes in full professional capabilities of our Indian Armed Forces, and therefore it was a successful Operation Sindoor. After Pahalgam terror attack and after Operation Sindoor concluded, it was Prime Minister who made a short visit to Adampur Air Base as well. He was seen clicking photographs with the air warriors and those armed forces, security personnel who were involved in Operation Sindoor as well, and that gave a clear message that the entire country is behind our forces, our soldiers. And 1 month after Pahalgam terror attack, now Prime Minister is just near the India-Pakistan border. Of course, Prime Minister is going to inaugurate 103 Amrit Bharat station scheme, the redeveloped stations. There has been, Prime Minister also laying the foundation stone of several infrastructure projects, and certainly the Bikaner Mumbai Express train. These are certain, developments just near the border area that will also give a boost to the infrastructure, boost to the people living over there as far as the employment generation is concerned. But it is also at the same time messaging from Bikaner would go across to the country, to the world in large, that how India is on one side tackling the cross-border terrorism, but also making sure that governance goes on. The requirement that people have, the government is up to it. And at the same time, when Prime Minister Narendra Modi was dealing with meetings after meetings with top security officials, with defense ministers, and India was India was under attack from the Pakistani military forces, the governance kept on going. The diplomatic actions that India had taken against Pakistan, the role of different ministries kept on going, and because the security was alert on the border areas, the people were living very peacefully, and that's how the leadership had clearly stated that the entire country is behind our forces and they have united, and that's the message today as well. Prime Minister can share from Bikaner, where he is on one side inaugurating these railway stations, the redeveloped ones. On the other side, can give out a message that 1 month has passed and India has gone past that situation, but India is on alert, our security forces are on alert, and would also like to thank those security personals, the paramilitary forces, the Indian armed Jawans, that because of them, these things that the governance must continue had been going, and it is of course now the project inaugurations are being done by Prime Minister, but a message would be certainly to Pakistan as well, that we are on alert on the border areas and nothing would be tolerated as far as any form of terrorism is concerned.
Right, Aishwarya, let's talk about the three loud and clear messages that the Prime Minister put out while he was at the Adampur Air Base. He spoke about India's Lakshman Rekha against terrorism. He went on to say that if there would be an attack on India, India will be giving a befitting, a very solid reply and a very solid response. He also went on to say that India will not tolerate any nuclear blackmail. And thirdly, he went on to say that we will not see terror-supporting government and terror masterminds as separate entities. The world too is going ahead by understanding India's form, India's new system, India's new normal. Aishwarya, of course, take us through the significance of the location of this, visit in Rajasthan. He has chosen this particular airbase. So we are expecting the Prime Minister to be visiting that airbase. Take us through the significance and how strategically it's significant for the Indian Air Force.
Well, certainly it was Prime Minister's address to the nation after Pahalgam terror attack. It was a stern warning. A red line was drawn during that time as well, that any terrorism activity would be considered as an act of war. India will not distinguish between the terrorist organization and Pak-sponsored terror, and India will hit back whenever required according to our conditions, our time and our place. It is, of course, Prime Minister who had also stated that no further blackmailing on nuclear will be tolerated in the near future. We have done in the past and we will continue to do that as well. And apart from this bilateral understanding between India and Pakistan of no exchange of fire, all the diplomatic actions that India had taken, be it of stoppage of water, Indus Water Treaty put in abeyance, also the Pakistani diplomats, the officials being sent back to their country, the Pakistani visas got cancelled. All of that had continued. We have recently reported on the amended rules on Atari Wagah border as well. No opening of gates, no handshakes, no exchange of sweets, and that's the messaging that we are not going to talk to Pakistan in any form apart from terrorism and Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and that is what India is doing, and now narrating this message to the entire world as well. The delegations had been sent to the global capitals to with a message of zero tolerance against terrorism. These delegations had departed from India to different locations and would be speaking to the diaspora out there, to the journalists, to diplomats, to the ministers and member of parliaments of these countries, so that our stance on international forum, the UNSC, should be also put very clearly, as India is not a member and Pakistan is a non-permanent member. But certainly all of these actions on one side is being taken. But as you asked about why Prime Minister chose this particular location today, it is of course the entire western borders is being it's very strategic in terms of defending our western borders. The Air Force base is considered to be the first destination where Indian forces can go and can be proved as a defense shield for the entire country. They have squadrons over there which are kept on standby 24/7, and of course Prime Minister giving a message and probably would be meeting to the air warriors as well, who had been a part of the entire Operation Sindoor. Bikaner was one region which was also was under attack. It was the airbase which our defense system clearly stopped the enemy missiles or drones coming to that region. Nothing had been had been damaged by the enemy country, and therefore the reason to showcase to the world. Remember, at Adhampur airbase as well, Prime Minister was just standing in front of the S-400 air defense system, and that was something that loud and clear messaging was given, that we have that capability to ensure that our safety and security is intact, and we have that kind of technology and also the capability of defending any sort of incoming missiles or drones from the enemy country. And that's the message certainly we are expecting from the Prime Minister after 1 month of Pahalgam terror attack to be delivered from Bikaner as well.
Right, Shraddha, we will keep coming back to you with the very latest of Prime Minister Modi's visit in Bikaner. For now, we're slipping into a very short break.